I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Oof, dark. Welcome to My Sketchy Habit. Hello, welcome to My Sketchy Habit, where we draw every day and we don't have to be ashamed. Look, I get it. Art can be emotionally complex. We start working on a thing, we start feeling complicated feelings, and maybe sometimes we even give up because of it. But look, stop. You don't have to be that way. Art can be fun, it can be a good time, and you don't have to be ashamed of things when they don't work out the way you want to, because we're all learning and growing and trying, and I think all of that is super fun. And that's why I made My Sketchy Habit. Speaking of which, I like to see your art. I have an art gallery especially made for your art. All you have to do is join the Discord, become a member of the Sketchy Doodle, and show us what you can doodle do. We would love to see your art and love to have you join the Discord. We have a prompt every single day. We're actually going to be shifting from prompts to inspirations, just for a fun, cool change of the word. So our inspiration word at the end of last week was harvest. This is my version of harvest. I'd love to see what the word harvest inspires you to draw or make or do. And if you have other things you'd like to show us, I'd love to put them here on screen to share with all the other people who are tuning in. We'll have a new inspiration at the end of today's video, and I cannot wait to share that with you. I am super excited for a new thing we're going to be doing here on the channel related to our inspirations. I am putting out a weekly list of inspirations for you to participate in. There's a whole bunch of things in there. This month our theme is going to be costumes, and there are words for this week. I would love to see what those words inspire you. Join the Discord to get yourself a copy of it. But of course, I'll be sharing at the end of the video what today's inspiration word was, and I'm super excited to share that with you. But for now, it's time for us to get to the art for today, and we are drawing animals in costumes. That means I'm taking an animal and putting them in their Halloween costume, and our first one is quite fun. It's a walrus dressed as Paul Atreides from Dune. Let's get to the art. All right, and we are getting started on our first animal in costume, and I wanted to go with a walrus who is dressed up as Paul Atreides from Dune. That's right. I wanted a walrus leader of the Sand Rebellion. I've not seen the Dune movies, and I've not read the Dune books. I know I'm a horrible, non-cultured person, but, you know, I started to read the books, and then I got distracted, as I often do. So, you know, this is my best bet on this, and I hope to watch the movie soon. This walrus here is coming together. I had to make a choice with a walrus. Basically, the choice was between whether they should be like walrusy shaped and have like a full walrus body, sort of goes out, sort of laying down, or to make them a bit more anthropomorphic and stand. I also had to decide whether I should give them hair or not. And all throughout this week, when we're doing animals in costumes, I had to make that choice on the regular, and I didn't like the hair for this one, so I decided not to go with hair and instead to stick with just the walrus bald head. But we got the nose piece, which I think the spice goes through. Look, again, I have not seen Dune, and I have not read Dune. So yeah, this is me trying a walrusy shape for this body. But then I realized that, like, because of the nature of the costume and the sort of long cloaky thing, neckerchief, scarf, it just wouldn't like capture the essence in the way I wanted it to. We weren't able to draw in the pieces the way I wanted to, so I just erased a whole bunch of it and kept the head though, because I really like the head. Here you can see me trying to figure out how to deal with this scarf and realizing nope, we're done, we're out of here, get this off the screen, and let's go tall, dark, and walrus. Now I have to figure out what kind of pose I want to do. I do like the whole holding up the big knife thing, so I like that. It's weird because the knife kind of looks like a giant tusk, so, you know, I assume it's like a sandworm tooth or something. Again, haven't seen it. I just like the look of it and thought it would make for a fun costume, and, you know, SEO is a thing. Very important. Now, here's where things start to get tricky. Looking at pictures of Timothée Chalamet in Dune, I couldn't really figure out how his costume worked. So he's got shoes, he's got sort of like a cod piece, and he's got sort of like layered pieces of of leather fabric, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how it's sort of layered on top of itself. And so you can see me here just sort of trying to like shape and reshape and trying to get the vibes. Ultimately, I think I landed with something that kind of looks and works like the costume. We're just going to assume that this was a cosplay, not like a store-bought thing, and that they tried their best to get it close to what it's supposed to look like. Even if it's not perfect, it definitely evokes Paul Atreides and evokes that Dune sense of style. And yeah, I really love the idea of a walrus dressed up as Paul Atreides. And this, I think, is just about our sketch. We're trying to just get the last of these scarf pieces in here just to get the vibe right, get the style together. And yeah, I think that's our walrus. It's game time! That's right, we're gonna play a little game here, and this week we're playing a game called Alphabets. That's right, Alphabets, where I take a letter of an alphabet in one font and I draw something out of it, and it's your job to guess what it is before time is up. Can you figure it out? Today, our letter is A. I wish you a good amount of luck. Now it's time for us to get into the line art here, and of course that means just taking our time and slowly working through the shapes that we've created to make something that we're proud of. I really like these small eyes for this walrus. It really works well. It evokes something of, you know, the nice simplicity of this character in this world. They are dressed as Paul Atreides, but they are, you know, maybe a little bit more quiet and passive in their day-to-day life than a hero or whatever he is in the movie. Is he a hero or a villain? I assume he's a hero, but you never know. We are just getting in the details of this scarf. It looks really nice. I really like the style. I chose this particular image style from the film because of this scarf, because I think it looks really cool and it really evokes something of the character of the images I've seen as a non-movie watcher. I know, I really should watch it. All I'm doing with this video is making me feel guilty for not watching Dune yet. One of the Dune 2 is one of the biggest like movies of the year, and I'm just sitting at home twiddling my thumbs being like, hey, have you seen Back to the Future? Does that just mean I'm old now? Anyways, we're getting into the lines and the details here. I do really like the way this costume comes together. I'm still not sure if it's entirely right. I did my best based on, you know, photos I saw, and I think it works to evoke, like I said, but I'm really not sure. I have to say though, I really do like the image that we've created here. I really do enjoy it. It evokes that sort of fan of a thing, but also not the thing, right? Like, because he's just a fan, not actually a Paul Atreides. I really like that for this character. It's time for the Dad Joke Bad Joke, where I tell you a joke that came directly from my dad. He sends me a joke every single day in WhatsApp, and I collect them all up so I can share them with you. And today we have a joke all about sand, because, you know, Dune has a lot of sand. And it goes like this. Did I tell you about my attempt to grow bananas in sand? Did I tell you about my attempt to grow bananas in sand? It was fruitless. Fruitless. Did I tell you about my attempt to grow bananas in sand? It was fruitless. The Dad Joke Bad Joke. Let's get back to the art. And last but not least, we need to get some color on here. So that means sort of a purplish gray for our walrus, and then getting the colors that sort of match the film. A lot of dark blues, a lot of beigey, sandy colors, just to really, you know, lock into that that world. I think I drew on the wrong layer here, which happens to me all the time. Look, if you're a digital artist and you work in layers, you're gonna work on the wrong layer like at least 10% of the time. It's just par for the course. Whether you do it right away or whether you do it halfway through, it's gonna happen. And, you know, I left it in because I felt that was authentic. We're getting color on here, trying to figure out exactly what colors to use. You know, contrast is a big deal when it comes to art, and so using this sort of purplish blue and this other kind of blue, using these tusks with this beige, we wanted to get colors that would sort of stand out. And then of course, you know, a lot of the costume is the same color, and so I had to figure out which way I wanted these colors to work. I tried it with this light blue, lighter blue, and then a dark blue, and then I realized, no, I think it's probably a darker color with the dark blue. So you can see me here putting in black and gray. Oh yeah, I think I changed to a greeny tone. It's really hard to tell. And then I ultimately went with a gray because I couldn't tell. And like the various images of this costume that I looked at, like all in different lighting, all in different vibes. And so it ended up being like very different color looking in every shot. So I just gave up and went with gray, which I think works. Ultimately, I think I'm pretty happy with how it turns out. I also do a little fade on this knife, and I think we're done. We need to just get some shadows and some highlights, and we'll have Paul Atreides from Dune, a walrus dressed as Paul Atreides. Should be pretty good. Let's check out the final reveal. And that's going to be it for our walrus dressed as Paul Atreides from the movie Dune. He looks absolutely fantastic, and he is ready to go trick-or-treating this holiday season. So I will put him into our image where we will put all of our drawings this week. We have 4 more animals and costumes to see, and they are going to be delightful. I cannot wait to show you. Speaking of which, we have an art gallery where I love to share your art. We are on the cusp of a new trend here on our channel. We're going to try doing monthly inspiration sheets where we have a prompt for every single day. They're just there to inspire you. You don't have to do them all. You can do some, you can do a few, but I would love to see the kind of art you're working on. And because we're art positive and believe that there's value in spending time doing art every single day, this list is meant to help us all. I got a little mixed up with the new system and kind of messed up the prompts. So we have one last prompt before we get to the new system, and that is mug. Today's prompt is mug. Can't wait to see what you do. Drop it in the Doodle Curdle. Link down below. Join the Discord. That's going to be it for our video today. We do have more animals and costumes coming this week, and they get better and better as the week goes on. I cannot wait to share them with you. But before we go, let me remind you the one rule of my sketchy habit, which is this: don't tell anyone about our sketchy habit. That's between you and me. Thanks for being here. Take care. Keep being awesome. Bye.